my water, my rules.
Next time I'm bringing my backpack.
Be smarter.
Well, I didn't think about it, okay? It's early. I didn't think you were going
Uh-huh.
to wake me up and force me to go work out today.
But you were technically on your computer.
Well, I was trying to, like, at least prepare some. After you woke me up, I had to prepare some artwork.
With a, well, okay, so you were asleep with your computer on.
Oh, well, I was awake, but I was looking at the stock market because I'm
Right.
trying to figure out what's going to happen pre-market today so we can have some retirement to live on someday, or you guys can inherit something when I pass away. Psycho. All right, well, hopefully somebody's going to pop in this live stream at some point. So I'm attorney Michael Ehline. I'm an attorney licensed in California and Texas. And one of the things that I like to do with my audience, because all I do is work pretty much, is to show you that even if you're a disgusting fat body and you're an excuse maker, there's still hope for you. You can get up early, you can get to the gym, and if you can't make it to the gym, you can go for a walk to the park. And today I have the added benefit of having Gunner with me, and we're getting him in shape for his judo, for his randori and his newaza and stuff, working on pull-ups, working on push-ups and stuff like that, just basic resistance training. We found this really cool jungle gym over at the park, and so we'll do about a half-mile walk. Nothing major, but it's a way for you guys and gals who are excuse makers and constantly try and say that you can't get in shape to get in shape. Even if you're not going to be a bodybuilder or a pro lifter or anything like that, which I used to be, not a pro, semi-pro, you can still be always staying after the task. And strength of body is strength of mind. So if you maintain strong physical strength, do resistance training, and all that stuff, it will also lend itself to a good diet. You'll naturally want to start getting into good nutrition. And my buddy Life Under the Microscope, I'll try to get him on for an interview pretty soon. He'll help you with the carnivore diet. And if you're not into that, you can try the paleo diet. But I recommend the carnivore. So anyways, good seeing you guys this morning, even though no one's here. Probably too early for you. But this morning we're going to talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend with Donald Trump bombing Iran. Bomb, 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 Iran. And I'm hopeful that we'll have a return to the Shah and we'll get rid of these religious whack jobs that all the woke mob seems to be supporting and restore a Shah who has a more agrarian liberal society in Iran, where the people of Iran, especially the women, will have freedom, because I think that's super important. What do you guys think? Give me a bunch of ones if you think that the Iranians deserve freedom. Freedom from government. All right. So that's what we're all about. Freedom from government. That's what we want in this country as well. And give me some 5x5s if you can hear me. I know I'm in a drop zone. Sometimes I lose my audio. So I need to see some 5x5s so I know people are listening and watching. But we've had a wild weekend. And so I've been up early watching the stock markets. And I'm going to take you guys on a motivational workout. And so what I do, sometimes I'm lucky to have my son with me in the morning. He woke me up this morning because he's trying to get out of going to this Shoshinkan on Thursdays because
You a snitch.
it's like a 2.5 hour.
Yeah, I don't want to be there.
Like a 2.5 hour traditional Japanese style.
And you won't homeschool me
Oh
anymore.
yes, don't just stop. Don't be telling people that.
Well, he won't homeschool.
He wants to homeschool, and I'm telling him if he doesn't get with the program and keep training judo, that his mom and I are going to reconsider and put him back in that woke nightmare political re-education camp that you guys call public schools. And he's not liking it. He likes the freedom of getting up with his dad and going to the gym, learning how to practice law, learning
So
judo.
you really want to be with those mob bosses?
Mob bosses, those woke mobsters.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
But if I don't go to Shoshinkan, you won't homeschool me no more.
Well, we're going to talk about your lack of discipline. Because if you're not going to be disciplined, you might as well just be part of the Marxist, communist-run public education system and just go on welfare like all those other losers that end up getting jobs as professional baristas
Dad,
with
that's
doctorate
not what I
degrees
want
and
to be.
with doctorate degrees in underwater basket weaving or
You actually would do this to me. This is unbelievably unfair.
no way, man.
I don't want to go to Shoshinkan.
Well, Shoshinkan is a traditional dojo in Las Vegas,
And you think I care?
and I'm trying to make sure that you learn the basic skills of discipline so that when I pass away, you'll be able to take care of your mom and your sister
I don't want to.
and protect the family.
No.
Because that's what we do in this family, is we look after the people we care about. And the way you start doing that is building a base of discipline, because discipline equals freedom. There's a great book by Jocko Willink that I'm going to get you. Really easy to read. He's a Navy SEAL commander. Definitely want you to read that book, son. So if anybody's in the chat, give me some 5x5 so I know you can hear me. Buddy in the chat, please let me know that you can hear me. I'm attorney Michael Ehline. I'm an attorney licensed in California and Texas. And I'm here with my son Gunnar, going to do some PT at the park in beautiful Summerlin. Check out this beautiful mountain. Holy crap. Let me just get this shot right here, guy. Look at that mountain. That is just gorgeous. Those are called the Red Rock Mountains. And absolutely stunning. Beautiful day today. Trying to get Gunny his black belt before he's 18. Legit little dude. What are you doing? Playing with your cell phone?
Yeah.
Playing with your cell phone while you're walking? You're gonna end up getting clobbered by a tree or something, dude. What's wrong with you? Unsat. Unsat. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the stock markets. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't see anybody in the chat. There we go. Hey, good morning from New Jersey, sir. How are you doing? Glad you were able to join me for our workout. It's a little cold today. What's the temperature on your phone? How cold is it outside? I mean, it's not cold for someone from New Jersey, but I'm from Newport Beach, California. I'm a transplant. We had to escape the communist takeover of California.
65 degrees.
So it's 65 degrees, so that's like jacuzzi weather for you guys out in Jersey. So, yeah, I escaped communist-fornia.
It's called California.
California, Gunnar says. And when I escaped California, the first thing I did is remove all the featureless bullshit that the communist government of California forced me to put on all my weapons. So now I have standard capacity magazines. I have regular pistol grips on my ARs and my AKMS clones. And I can drive off onto BLM land, Bureau of Land Management land, with my son and go blow up tannerite and whatever I want to do, anything that's legal in Nevada, constitutional First Amendment right or Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms out here in Nevada. And it's right across the border in case I need to visit clients, because I'm a lawyer licensed in California and Texas. Hey, Ghost Man, good seeing you, brother. I'm sorry about that. We'll have to talk about it. I don't like seeing any members of Team MPE suffer. So let me just give you a little, before we get over to the workout area, my motivational workout area. And for those of you just joining me, I'm no longer a spring chicken. My background is in judo, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and Muay Thai. I used to be a surfer. I'm from Newport Beach, California, and other parts of Orange County. I've lived all over the state of California. Used to have a construction company. I became a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad on the State Bar Law Office Study Program, the traditional way, before we had law schools, taken over by the anti-American communists that run our entire education system, in my opinion. And now I'm licensed in California and Texas. I got my start in appellate law. I used to extern for the California Court of Appeal. I also worked at the Los Angeles City Attorney Criminal Prosecution Division, La Cienega Courthouse in LA. And I've done a lot of writs and appeals, criminal defense. And currently I do catastrophic injury cases, and most of my clients are military veterans. And I've got one of the largest motorcycle accident settlements in the history of the United States, over $10 million for a former Army paratrooper who was injured in a bad motorcycle accident. And that's what I do now to make money, make Federal Reserve notes. But my love is the Second Amendment. Because without the Second Amendment, you can't protect the other ones. And I'm good friends with Dick Heller of DC versus Heller, and then Heller versus DC and its iterations. And I work with Alan Beck. He's one of the preeminent Second Amendment rights attorneys in the United States. And presently, he has a case going before the Supreme Court that has been joined by Pam Bondi's DOJ, where the government's actually joining us in fighting against Biden's Marxist Democrat prosecutors who originally, as well as the state of Hawaii Marxist Democrats who are trying to strip us of our unalienable, God-granted rights to keep and bear arms. So that's what I do. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me refresh really quick. We got comms. Do we have comms? So really quickly, I've been covering the attack against Iran. I've already told you that I think that any nukes or any fissile material where we drop bombs had already been moved. I do believe that. I do believe that Iran has had nuclear bombs for years. And I thought about the strategy of what Trump is doing. And the guy's a businessman. And by the way, I'm a libertarian, so I'm not a MAGA guy, but I do believe that we need to make America great again. And I do believe in America first. I'm an inactive United States Marine. I'm 70% disabled. So as a lawyer, I like to lay a foundation as to why I have expertise about the things that I'm talking about. I've made millions in the stock market and lost millions. I've made millions as a lawyer and lost millions. But what really matters is the family. So I got the family. Thanks, Ghost Man. And I got my family here with me, and that's all that really matters to me, because that's God's gift to man, bestowed upon him by granting him a woman to give him joy and a family. So really quickly, the Chinese and Russia, India, as well as Iran and some other countries, Brazil, have been working on this BRICS currency. And the goal is to replace the United States Federal Reserve note fiat currency, which I believe the Federal Reserve is illegal and a violation of our unalienable rights. A central bank is evil. Thomas Jefferson never wanted it. I'm a Jeffersonian anti-federalist. So, all right, let's do some push-ups first, buddy. Let's do 20.
20.
Yep. Do side by side so I can show these guys how we do it. All right, let's do it. Right here. Let's get it. So we're in the shot. All right, you guys ready? All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, let's stretch. Stretch your arms like this. Side by side. Stretch out those shoulders, those delts. Open them up. Let's come on into our belly. Look up. Right, let's do some flutter kicks. Flutter kicks. You just keep going, breathe, get oxygen in your lungs. Side by side. Build that belly, buddy, build that stomach. And then bicycles. Bicycles. Keep going. Don't surrender, buddy. Never surrender. All right, stretch out the stomach again. Nice stretch. Up towards the sky. All right. Now go do some rows. Actually, you know what? No. Do your do some katagamis. Do your katagamis. Get warmed up. Just do your regular routine that you would do. While I talk to my audience. Just do the regular routine you do at the dojo to get warmed up. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Ghost Man. So, just spend like 10 minutes, okay? Just get warmed up so you don't tear a muscle. So anyways, guys, the communist Chinese were in the process of getting this Belt and Road Initiative handled where they could get a road built to Iran so they could get oil, because China is totally dependent on foreign oil. They've got a lot of coal. They're the ones doing most of the damage to the environment if you're a commie liberal. But yet we have to stop all of our oil and stop our ability to have oil. And the Chinese don't have to do anything, these Paris Peace Accords and all this stuff. So what communist China does is they pay off all these politicians, and in return, laws are passed to make it impossible for us to have a strong industry by our own politicians, traitors in Canada, in the United States. And so China's been taking advantage of that. And this Belt and Road Initiative was designed for the communist Chinese to be able to make it easier for them to get oil, so they don't have to be using the Strait of Hormuz, for example. And they're allied with Iran. The BRICS currency system is a system with these other people who hate America to replace the Federal Reserve note as the world reserve currency. And it's backed by gold, which is what our currency is supposed to be backed by in the US. So as a result, all of a sudden, even though I've known Iran's had nukes for years, we decided to attack Iran. And so as a result of that, and again, so I have a new update about my stock market tips as well, at least for me. No financial advice intended. I'm just a lawyer. I have limited experience. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So keep on warming up, buddy. I'm here working out with my son, getting him ready for judo. So in any event, as a result of this war, we all thought that the stock market was going to go bananas. I was already like getting ready to do options on UVIX and SVIX. And then I look at the stock market this morning, and Bitcoin's already going back up. Everything looks pretty stable. There don't seem to be any problems. And I'm thinking to myself, why is that? So I did some additional research, and here's what I discovered. If Iran shuts down the Strait of Hormuz, guess what's going to happen, guys? There's not going to be any oil. But who's the world's largest producer of oil? Who is it? Is it Saudi Arabia? No. Who is it? Somebody tell me. Tell me who the world's largest producer of oil is. The USA. And when the Strait of Hormuz is shut down, guess who's going to lose their oil? Probably not China, because they can get it from Russia. Who's it going to be, guys? Who are we in major trade discussions with? The most Marxist, anti-European government in the world, the modern European government, trying to replace their population with low IQ sub-Saharan Africans and jihadis, right? Europe. Europe is going to lose access to their oil. And what does that mean? What does that mean, guys? That means they're going to have to buy oil from who? From us. So I think that Orange Man, being a businessman, figured that out. And he realized when these crazy Iranian jihadis shut down the Strait of Hormuz, we're going to be selling a lot of oil. And so a lot of these people, you know, the Obamaites and stuff, are saying, oh, Orange Man bad. And I'm not a big Trump supporter, or I don't support any politician. I think less government means more freedom. We should be putting politicians into power who delete laws, not pass more. But in this case, I think that Trump may be onto something here, because now Europe is going to be totally dependent on the United States for their oil once those crazy jihadis shut down the Strait of Hormuz. I think that's what's going to happen, guys. I think that is exactly what's going to happen. Good seeing you, Ozzy. Good seeing you, Brett. Even though you might be a commie, I'm not sure. Dad, hey, love you, Dad. Good seeing you, man. So here's what my thoughts are. My thoughts are here. Let me get a little bit of. Let me do some rows. I don't want to get cooled down. I'm talking too much. I want to motivate you guys who think that you can't stay in shape. By the way, you old guys and stuff who are excuse makers. So hold on. Right, when you're done, we're gonna do another set of push-ups, all right, Gunny?
I'm not doing it.
We're gonna do 15, okay?
All right.
Come on, get down here. All right, you get right here and I'll get right here so we can be in the shot. You get right here, get right there. Face the camera and say oorah. Say oorah. Wait, don't start yet. I want you to go all the way down. Okay, get your legs straight, head up, look up towards the sky. And let's do it. Count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ah, what? You pushed out on me.
You said 15, dude.
I know. I just expect you to keep going. Pick up on that energy. Okay, get back on the jungle gym. All right. So where was I? We were talking about what's going to go on here with oil. So I was thinking that the oil markets were going to be tougher on the United States, but what's probably going to happen, hey Chevy, good seeing you, brother. What's probably going to happen is, guys, by the way, guys, thanks for joining me. If you're not working out, drop and give me 20 right freaking now. No excuse. Here's what's probably going to happen. What's probably going to happen is, because of what Trump did, the crazy Ayatollahs are going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. And then what's going to happen after that is the United States, the world's largest producer of oil, thanks to Trump #1, is going to now have some sway with Europe once again. Even though we're providing most of their military budget, the Europeans hate our guts. They're run by a bunch of commies, a bunch of idiots who think that one volcano won't do any damage to our atmosphere, but somehow them and us producing oil will. But yet they exempted communist China from all those restrictions. So we know that the communist Chinese basically paid off all those scumbag politicians, including the ones here, based on this crazy climate change agenda thing that they have. And the only people benefiting from the climate change agenda is politicians in the form of high taxes that do nothing to help us in communist China. So what's going to happen now? Well, with the Strait of Hormuz being shut down, if it happens, all that oil is in jeopardy. Insurance companies won't cover the shipping, so all these shippers are not going to want to go through the Strait of Hormuz. So what's going to happen? The United States is going to start importing oil to Europe. And with that, we will have significant control over the Europeans. And since the Europeans pigeonholed themselves by trying to invite Ukraine into NATO, which is the reason why Putin invaded Ukraine, because he was promised, Russia was promised years ago, that under no circumstances would Ukraine join NATO. So what ended up happening is the exact opposite. They broke their promise. Ukraine invaded NATO. And now the Europeans started helping the Ukrainians, the most corrupt government in the history of the world, by some estimates, Ukraine, to fight Russia. So Russia doesn't have any interest in helping the Europeans, his enemy now, and us. So Russia is just going to start sending all their oil to China. And as a result, Europe is only going to be able to buy oil from us. And so when I checked the stock market this morning, I was like, you know what? I think that my theories are coming true. Oh, you want me to do 40 push-ups? Oh, that's no problem, Chevy. Hold on. What's that? I'm going to do it. Chevy wants me to do 40. That's no big deal. I got that. All right. You don't have to do anymore, but I expect you to keep training. Don't sit there like a freaking lazy civilian. Make it happen. Okay, so 40, Chevy. Okay, if I do 40 push-ups, everybody's got to give me a $1.99 minimum super chat, all right? Everybody who can afford it. $1.99 minimum, or match whatever Chevy gives me. Oh, you did 40 for me? All right, well, screw it. You don't have to give me any money then. You just paid yourself. So I'm going to do it anyways because Chevy's my homeboy. So you guys ready? All right, let's go. Right on, Chevy. Good for you, man. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 30, 31, 32, 33. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Oh, man. Chevy, you just kicked my ass, brother. Oh, hell yeah, Chevy. I got a $10 super chat. We'll work for health and fitness. Look at that, dude. Look, Chevy just sent us $10, man. Say thank you, Chevy.
Thanks, Chev.
Say thanks for helping Dad support the family.
By
Say
the way, I think your Marine buddy over there was doing some pull-ups.
Oh, right on. Yeah, we
introduce him to your friends.
No. Yeah, we ran into a couple inactive Marines and a former Army officer last time we were here. I was trying to teach my son about discipline. All right, let's crank out some pull-ups for you, Gunny. Thank you, Chevy, for helping me support my family. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for supporting Team MPE. All right, we'll do it at an angle. Pull-ups, I think, are, besides legs, like squats, are the most important exercise because your lats are your second largest muscle. Muscles burn fat while you sleep. So it's really important to get those lats strong. All right, let's go, Gunny. Hurry up. Hurry up. You're going too slow. Let's do it. Give me 20. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Outstanding. That's what's up. And so for you guys taking judo and jiu-jitsu, pull-ups are super important. And when you're done, give me some dips, all right? Yeah. So pull-ups are super important for your throws. So if you do judo and or wrestling, having strong lats, definitely a big plus. Want to have strong back muscles. Hell yeah, man. Hey, Stone Cold. Hey, brother, I'm jacked up too. I was in the Corps. I'm a 70% disabled Marine, but I'm teaching my son judo, trying to teach him how to become a black belt. Is that all you could do?
Yeah.
You're sore from doing push-ups, right? Your triceps. Okay, give me some rows. Give me some rows right there. Rows right there. Yep, do it. All right. I'm with you, Rob. I'm all messed up too, brother, but I'm here working out. And there's no excuse, even if you're disabled or injured. Do a good warm-up. Come on, crank them out, Gunny. No excuse. Come on, give me 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. 1 more. 6. All right. Good job. All right, give me some stretching. Get on the ground and stretch. All right, let's get this squared away. Hold on. Got to square away my camera. I got a gimbal with me today. Good, good. Do your regular judo stretching you do at the dojo. Good, Randall. That's what I'm here for, to motivate you guys to exercise. You got to work out every day, man. Even if you don't do weights, at least stretch. Do something. Never surrender, especially as you guys get old. Hell yeah, Chevy. There you go. Good job, buddy. Those are Newaza drills. That's how you trap your opponent's leg if you're on your back. See that, guys? Outstanding, Gunny. All right, go ahead and just mess around on the jungle gym for a minute, and I'll try to get back to where I was at. So my stock market picks for today are going to be U.S. oil. I think that once the Iranians try and shut down the Strait of Hormuz, no insurance company is going to cover ships. Lloyd's of London, no one, because it's going to be too much of a risk. Sprinklers are coming on. That's fine. Sometimes they spray over. So as a result of that, the only place the Europeans are going to be able to get oil is from us. And so it may have been a brilliant move by Orange Man by attacking Iran. Hey, good seeing you, Bill of Rights. Out freaking standing. And good, Stone Cold Rob. Planks for us for core are a son of a gun. Yeah. Hey, no question, man. But the key is, brother, and I forgive you for being in the Army. Not everyone has what it takes to be a Marine. I'm just joking, man. You know that I love anybody who's willing to sacrifice their life for a brother. That's what I'm all about. And we just give you a hard time because our basic is harder and we're more disciplined. But now that I'm a civilian, I still wear my cover because it reminds me of who I am. Because as you know, your military service is what defines you. In most cultures, becoming a warrior is the gateway into becoming a man. In the Native American cultures, you had to at least go on a hunting party before you could be considered a man. So unlike the California woke schools, a man wearing a dress and carrying a purse was never considered the hallmark of being a they, them, or whatever they have modernly. So I just believe in traditional values. Now, Johan, well, cryptocurrency, despite many people saying that it's a store of value and this and that, has been shaken a little bit. I think last Friday it closed at 106. This weekend, and when I say cryptocurrency, I mean Bitcoin. And then it went down to around 99,000 this weekend. And then this morning when I checked in the pre-markets, I was surprised it was back up to 101. So a lot of crazy people who are looking at crypto as a way to make some quick cash. I'm a long-term holder. I believe that cryptocurrency is going to go up to $1 million probably in the next couple of years. So $100,000 worth of Bitcoin today probably will be up to $1 million in the next couple of years. So I'm a long-term investor when it comes to crypto. And honestly, I don't really care if it gets affected by the war, because if we ever lose internet access, that means the world's already been blown up in nukes. So at some point, we're going to be able to kick the shit out of these Ayatollahs and get them out of power and restore the Shah and give freedom back to the Iranian people. At least more freedom than they have now under these crazy religious whack jobs that run Iran. So yeah, I'm not really that concerned about it. I'm just going to hold all my Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum, and that's how it's going to be. Hey, Gunny, you want to head back? Let's do it. Grab all your gear. All right, so we got a decent workout in today. Thanks to Chevy, I cranked out, I don't know, like 45 push-ups. You know what? Let me crank out one set of pull-ups so these guys don't think that I'm a pussy.
Hey,
oh, sorry, man. All right, so let me give you guys one set of pull-ups. I'll just try to do 6. Well, actually, we know how that works, right, guys? Try means I won't. I am going to do 6. So stand by, and then we'll get back into cryptocurrency, and we'll make it happen. Thanks, bro. Thanks, Hippie. Hippie says I got a booger. Well, that makes sense because it's freaking cold and wet out here, but I appreciate it, man. All right, let's do it. All right, I gotta do 6, all right? You gotta motivate me, all right?
Dad, I'm not gonna go to Shoshikan if you don't do this.
Oh, okay, for sure. All right, that was motivating. If you want for chesty puller. All right. And we got one out for chesty puller. So I still feel like I'm a good Marine. All right. Yeah, well, the problem is, Stone Cold, is by the time you learn about what Nancy Pelosi and her scumbag family did with stocks, it's too late. They've already bought, sold, or exercised their options. So best thing to do is be safe. For me, it's gold, silver, and when I see a potential issue with the markets, like today, and if they close the Strait of Hormuz, look at things like oil, VIX, UVIX, and SVIX. Look at the fear and greed index. All right, hold on. You ready to head out, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, stand by. All right, let's do it. Let's go this way. You got all your gear? All right. Okay, so we'll take the long way around that way. Try to get a little bit more in. So that's where they train, over at the benches. Yeah, so we met a fellow Marine, an air winger, a couple days ago. And I was making fun of him, swing with the wing and all that. And he was like, yeah, you know, we get to wear our ponytails. We just kind of laughed about it because I was an 03 designee, so combat arms. And we always make fun of the air wing because they never had to polish their boots. And that was because of electrical conductivity. But now we wear those desert boots, so it doesn't matter. But now they have oil-stained desert boots, so they still look undisciplined as hell. And they have undisciplined haircuts. As you can see, I try to maintain a disciplined haircut at all times, even though I'm no longer in. Because once a Marine, always a Marine, right, guys? So let's get back into my market picks. By the way, good seeing everybody, by the way. All right. So was that a decent workout, buddy?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay, cool. Morning, sir. Always nice to see people out here trying to better themselves. Your body is your temple. Take care of it, guys. Okay, so Johann Potgeiter.
sounds Southern European.
Du bist ein Deutscher Mann? Oder Engländer? Was ist los? He said, yeah, mate. But we know the Germans speak English, not the American version. So if he said, yeah, mate, that still means he might still be an Englishman or Dutch. But you tell us, mein Herr. Afrikaans, danke wel. Sorry.
Africa.
Yeah, sorry that the ANC communists destroyed your country. But hopefully,
Well, poor South Africa.
and I'm sorry about the Boer and the farmers. What a shame that the Marxist communists destroyed your country, brother. But you've got a home here with Team MPE. A lot of my friends were in the South African Defense Forces. Most of them live in Slovakia now, and they're actually quite happy there.
Wait, really? Slovakia, is that peaceful?
Slovakia is an amazing country. If you ever want to try to find a hot woman, that's where you go. But if you want to find a good woman, go to Central America. They'll
Let me get this right.
like your mother.
Slovakia is
Eastern European.
No, untouched from the communists.
Well, it hasn't been flooded by jihadis and scumbags like they've done to Europe. So it's better.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. Kein Problem. How do you say kein Problem?
Speak Afrikaans.
Well, it's very so Dutch is Afrikaans basically.
Well,
And in Dutch is similar to English and German. Actually, I think it's a Germanic language, if I'm not mistaken.
West Germanic.
Yeah.
I mean, but somehow it made its way to
Yeah.
South Africa.
So how do you say a donkey? Donkey is how you say thank you. Or it's a short of dank wel. but dankjewel is the way you say it. Anyways, let's get into my stock picks of the day. So what I'm gonna do today, as soon as I get back, the markets will be opened. I try not to do pre-market trading. I try to wait a little while because things tend to change. First thing I'm gonna do is look at the VIX, the Fear and Greed Index. It's the very first thing I'm gonna do. And I'm going to presume that US oil prices are gonna skyrocket. And so I'm gonna look at getting some options on some US oil stocks. And if the UVIX is not too low, I'm gonna buy some UVIX. And I'm probably gonna short the SVIX. I'm gonna assume that Iran, because of Sleepy Joe's open borders, has smuggled in weapons of mass destruction. We know that Ukraine, probably the most corrupt country on the planet, has sold a lot of our handheld launchers and weapons that our government gave the Ukrainians, and they probably sold them on the black market. I have friends over there who are mercenaries, who are former MARSOC and Anglico Marines, and I have it on good authority that at least 40% or more of the small arms that we've given to the Ukraine government have been sold on the black market. Much of it has gone to the Russians as well as the drug cartels in South America. And because of the wide open borders that Sleepy Joe allowed to happen, I see that probably a lot of it got smuggled in. And good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
So my position is we don't know how much equipment and weapons and jihadists that our government has captured at the border during the 4 years of Sleepy Joe and now since Orange Man has sealed the border, because they'll say that there's an active investigation and they won't tell us because they don't want to scare the American people. That's how they do it. But I would presume that a lot has already been captured, and obviously the government doesn't want to get pie on their face by telling us that it's their fault for supporting one of the most corrupt governments on the planet, Ukraine, and allowing this stuff to be sold on the black market. So I would presume there's a high probability that Iran is going to start launching sleeper cell attacks in the United States. And so when that happens, and I'm presuming it's going to, because I'm pretty good at being able to recognize patterns, that SVIX is going to go down. As the stock market fails, SVIX goes down, and that is a one-time leveraged ETF that bets against the market's success. So what I'll do is buy some options on SVIX as the market starts to fail, and then I'll hold it. I'll try to do like call cancels for a year out if possible. I'll pay the extra money. And as the stock market starts to improve, once we put boots on the ground in Iran, which I think we all know we have to do, because I guarantee you that when we struck those nuclear storage sites, Iran had already moved all their nukes out of there. So the only way we're going to be able to stop Iran now is to invade. So I would bet there's a high statistical probability we'll be sending in ground troops. And the main reason why we're doing this, guys, isn't to prevent nukes. What is it, guys? It's because of BRICS currency. Our CIA and the Mossad is never going to allow Communist China, Iran, and the other BRICS countries to replace the US Federal Reserve note as the world's reserve currency. They'd rather see the entire world flattened by nuclear abomination than allow that to happen. So my prediction is once we send in ground troops and the economy stabilizes, SVIX will go up. And then I'll exercise those options and maybe make a couple of $1 million in currency notes. So that is my prediction. And of course, I will never sell my cryptocurrency. If you look at the history of crypto, 10 years ago, you could buy Bitcoin for 50 cents, I think. And now my shares are up to $100 a coin, 100,000 a coin. So yeah, it's volatile. It goes up and down. But if it goes up and down, that's good because it gives you the opportunity to buy at the dip. So just keep that in mind. Institutional investors are buying up Bitcoin like crazy. They know that the Federal Reserve note is going to collapse on its own anyways. It's kind of like people who had really powerful websites that ranked #1 on Google when they could buy PR6 backlinks, and then that no longer worked. So they tried something different, and then it worked for a while and it failed. And they've dumped hundreds of thousands of dollars into their organic websites thinking that they were going to come back, and they never did, and they lost everything because they knew that pay-per-click doesn't work, that your competitors can use click farms and exhaust your bid in a couple of days or an hour. And so people gave up on their websites and went broke. And that's kind of what I think the bankers are doing. I don't think they really understand. See the dead mouse or rat over there? See that? I could smell it before I saw it. The sweet smell of death. So, just like the movie Commando, what, you smelled them? I did. Remember that? The two Green Berets showed up to provide commando protection. And he was like, get downwind. And they said, what, you can smell them? And he said, I did. Great movie, by the way, Commando. All right, so let's take a look. So Felix says, oh yeah, Stone Cold, just 1 second, brother. Felix says, not really, I'm a researcher, and you analyze the plates. It's kind of boring. Okay, well, that's cool. Hey, that's right, Ant Pisano. That's a great movie, man. Now, Stone Cold says, invest in gold and ammo. I agree, but I also recommend silver. Not that I'm giving you financial advice, because I can't, but I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, not into silver, physical silver, although I do own a lot of physical silver, but no, I invest in gold and silver royalties. And that is because gold and silver stocks like Royal Gold and GLD are, in my opinion, fake, because you don't own the gold. And what happens is they lease the gold to other people to make extra money. And that's called hypothecation, I believe. And so when that market crashes, you'll lose your investment. So gold and silver royalties like Royal Gold, Royal Nevada, I think it's Royal Nevada. I'll try to do a show about this later. But the idea is if you do the royalties, all you do is you take advantage of the royalties on the mines. And I think investing in the mines is a mistake too, especially if oil prices go up, because it makes it harder to get the gold out of the ground and the silver. So I would recommend royalties if I could make legal and financial recommendations. And that's what I've done. And on some of my royalties, I'll get a royalty check every month for $50, $100. One of them I'm getting like $250, depending on how much you invest. And I'm not going to touch my MSTY. I've got about $500,000 in MSTY, even though I think I paid like 22 a share, and now it's going to be down to like 20. Once the market becomes more volatile and MSTR becomes more volatile, that options market's going to explode again. And I typically get a nice dividend check. I'm not going to tell you how much it is, but it's pretty significant, to the point where I can make about $500,000 a year off that. So I would say that right now is probably the best time ever, if you were going to invest in MicroStrategy, to look at MSTY and MSTU. And I day trade with MSTU. I'll buy it for 7. If it goes up, 35 cents, I'll sell it, make $1,000, reinvest that into gold or silver. And that's kind of my strategy. What kind of strategies do you guys use? I'd like to know. And I agree with you, Right Stuff. Thank you, Sunu Peak. I got $25 from Sunu. He says that I look like Hank from Breaking Bad with those glasses on. I guess that's good. Do you know who that is, Gunner?
Yeah, Hank Strader.
Tell us who Hank Strader is.
He's sorry. He's looking for his best friend, who is a drug dealer.
Oh.
Makes methamphetamine. And he this is very, very hard for me to explain.
That's okay. It's good enough, because you're not supposed to say.
For his sidekick.
Looking for a sidekick.
Jesse Pinkman.
Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah. And his Hank Strader's buddy, Mr. White, Heisenberg. And his best friend, Jesse Pinkman. Both need to cook.
Okay, I don't want you to say any of those D words, because YouTube doesn't like it when you mention them. Guys, give me a bunch of ones for Gunner.
Oh man, too late now.
No, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Give me a bunch of ones for Gunner if you got it right. And thank you for the donation. I do appreciate it. Now that donation was made in AED, so I don't know what currency that is, to be honest. But John Potgaita says that great show, Breaking Bad. Aunt Pisano just gave you a bunch of ones for getting it right, Gunner. So
Nice.
everyone's proud of you. So, oh, a DEA agent, says John Potgaita. Jeff gave you some ones, and so did John Potgaita.
Nice.
Dankevel, John. Or Donkey. So, with that being said, guys, I've got to get ready for my day of practicing law. As most of you know, I'm a practicing attorney with over 20 years experience in appellate law, Second Amendment rights, and primarily now I do catastrophic injury claims for military veterans. I'm licensed in California and Texas. If you have any issues, let me know. Even if I can't help you with your case in your state, I'll try and help find you a military veteran attorney who you can trust, who's reliable, because I care about my audience and I don't want you to get screwed because there's a lot of bad attorneys out there. So with that being said, guys, I do appreciate you joining me. Oh, and it is a beautiful sky. Really quick, Gunner, let me show them the Red Rock Mountains really quick. Look at that, dude. So that is westerly, rises in the east and sets in the west. Look at that mountain. And you see the red down there.
Is the iron, yeah, you said.
That red is iron, and so it rusts, and that's why it turns red. So hopefully you guys like it. I'm glad, Bob. So I'll try to join you guys later. I'm pretty busy today, working on cases. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are gonna take down this channel. Always save these videos for later viewing. Really helpful with my channel. Thanks for the donations. Make sure to buy subscriptions. I do some top secret stuff on the back channel with my paid subscribers. Get yourself a Lance Corporal membership with a PFC Chevron. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are gonna take down this channel. Semper Fi.